All right, so have you guys ever heard about a pair of sneakers and then you wanted to buy the sneakers, so you bought them, and then by time you got them and you tried them on, they totally lived up to the expectations? That would be this sneaker right here. And so I have a casual review of the Saucony Endorphin Speed. This shoe is a beast and definitely one that is super comfortable. So let's go ahead and get into the video. What is going on, guys? Hes here, collectivekicks.com. Hopefully you guys are having a good day out there. If you guys are new to my channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. If you guys are not familiar with my website, I basically just post sneaker deals for shoes that I find that I like on my website from Nike and Adidas and those type of sites. If you guys want to buy a pair of these, I will link them also in the description. This is the Saucony Endorphin Speed. Now, I've done a video on the Endorphin Pro in the past, which was a really good shoe. The Endorphin Pro had a carbon fiber plate down the middle of the shoe. This one is not carbon fiber, and I don't think that the rolling off of the toe box is as aggressive in this shoe, at least on my feet. But I gotta say, this is a really soft and squishy, comfortable pair of sneakers that if you're into that feel, like, this is one that you guys should probably consider. I just weighed this guy. It's 7.9 ounces, which is considerably light. The Adidas Ultra Boost 21, one of my favorite shoes of this year so far, is a 12-ounce shoe. So this is much heavier on feet. And then one that I haven't reviewed that I will on this channel soon, so stay tuned, is the Puma Nitro. This is 9.1 ounces. So this is on par with like the Pegasus Turbo sort of weight. It's just under 8 ounces, at least for my size, 9.5. And I gotta say that this is a really surprisingly good pair of sneakers. It shouldn't be a surprise considering I knew the Endorphin Pro was something I wanted. The only thing that I would say that I would do differently about this shoe would be to take that rolling motion out of the shoe completely. It's just not something I'm interested in. From a casual, I know that this shoe is not for me. This is for runners specifically, but there are some shoes out there that cross over to the lifestyle space, and this is one of them that I really dig. So it looks like this has Adidas Boost in the midsole, but it's not. This is actually not Saucony Everrun, because Everrun was one of the older technologies. Now it's a newer version of Everrun called PWRRRUN Plus. Again, it looks like Adidas Boost, but it is lighter, obviously. The fact that this is lighter and also very soft and squishy makes me pretty excited to see that they're continuing to evolve that lineage of what Adidas has done. And I wish Adidas would do the same thing. Adidas Boost has had a couple different iterations as well. Saucony had Everrun though, and it was okay, but this is much better. I think Adidas Boost should be doing the same thing. So I've been wearing these for the last couple weeks, and I wanted to give you guys my pros and cons, but first let's go ahead and get into some of the details on the shoe. So the Saucony Endorphin Speed cost $160, and what it says about them: for athletes looking for performance advantage on every run, the Endorphin Speed makes running feel fast easier by proving that a cushioned shoe can deliver speed and a natural feel at the same time. The combination of the new ultralight PeBax based PWRRUN PB cushioning and the power transfer of a composite plate makes any run feel fast. The reduction in fatigue means running feels easier, so you can take your training or your races to new levels. The SPEEDROLL, an always forward geometry, creates a lively rolling feel underfoot. It's a propulsive ride quality that's unique to Saucony, feeling instantly responsive and natural at the same time. It has an engineered mesh and a 3D printed structure where they need it most for comfort, and it won a couple of awards in 2020 for most comfortable sneakers and stuff like that from a runner's perspective. I'm sure they're gonna have a second version of these out soon, but it is a tremendously good shoe. It's lightweight, it's functional, it's soft, squishy, and it does have a rolling motion forward. As they say, it propels you forward. The engineered mesh is nice and breathable on the shoe. The heel cup adds a nice little stability to the shoe, and the liner is just soft enough that it feels good on feet with or without socks even. If you have low cut socks, they're not gonna irritate your feet also. There's a good amount of traction in the front and the back of the shoes, but in the middle you do have that exposed PWRRUN Plus. PB, if that's what they're calling it. It's definitely a well-cushioned pair of sneakers, and I'm kind of confused by the name. This is just me and my lack of understanding of runners, but if it's called the Speed, you'd think it would mean to go fast, but it's also like super squishy and soft. So like I would think that this would be better for like a long distance endurance run more than like a quick speed run, if that's something. I don't know. I'm confused, and I'm not a runner, and so you guys should know that from watching these channels. I'm not looking at these from a runner's perspective, but I do find it kind of like, well, this is weird. They're not focusing on cloud-like cushioning. They're focused on the fact that you can go fast in the shoe, but maybe it's the combination of the soft squishy with that propelling forward. It's probably really, really good for runners, and I should give it a go, honestly. These do fit true to size, in my opinion, but I'll have more information about that coming up here in the pros and cons. So we'll start off with some of the pros about this sneaker. First of all, again, it's just soft and squishy. Really, really soft and squishy on feet. Feels really, really good, and it's nice to have a squishy squish and feel underfoot, and done in a way where it's so incredibly lightweight. So that's the other pro. Obviously, I mentioned this already. It's under 8 ounces. It's a really soft, squishy ride that's lighter than Adidas Boost. I would say that it's softer and lighter than Adidas Boost, which was one of my fan favorites for 5 years running. Softer and lighter of the same sort of format is definitely meaningful. I like the fact that it's a detached tongue as well, so you can wear it a little bit looser if you need be. I like that quite a bit instead of just having it with the whole knit upper tongue thing. I like this style much better. The upper is really breathable as well, so that would be another pro. The other pro is, I guess, the price point. $160 is not the cheapest shoe out there, obviously, but it's not the most expensive either, and you get a lot in that $160 price range. I would say these are close to comparable to the New Balance 1080 V11s. I do like the V11s a little bit better. Part of the reason why is because of the cons in this shoe, which let's go ahead and get into. The first con to me, which is kind of a big one, is the stability of the shoe feels a little bit wonky. It's a little bit narrow through the midfoot of the shoe, and then obviously on the heel as well. With that ultra squishy feel on the heel of the shoe, it does feel a little bit wobbly left and right when you're walking around. Now I know primarily you're supposed to run forward, so it wouldn't be a problem for people that are running, but if you need or want stability when you're walking around, it did feel a little bit wonky here and there. So I kind of nailed two negatives in one. The width of the shoe, and then also the stability. They go hand in hand, and unfortunately this one lacks in both areas. The next con for me is I wish they didn't have that roller plate in it. I know that it's for runners and it's like one of the things that they tout, but honestly I wish they have another knockdown version without that plate involved. I do know that there's like a Swift version or something, but I don't think it's the same layout as what this one has. I'm not 100% sure, honestly. If you guys know, leave a comment, but I just want a version of this midsole soft and squishy without a roller action. I don't like the roller action. It's not something that I find comfortable for walking around in as much as maybe for people that obviously are running in the shoes. I know I'm not the primary market. I'm going to keep saying that because it's relevant, but it's something just personally, I wish that it didn't have a roller action going on. And the last con for me, honestly, is just the overall look of the shoe. It's kind of ugly. I say that a lot about a lot of these running shoes, but primarily the running shoes in general, they just don't have a lot of like wow factor to me. And it's hard to have wow factor in something that is so like generic feeling. That's the thing though. It's like you look at the shoe, and I think most sneaker people out there wouldn't look twice at the shoe. It's just too generic looking. You almost have to have like a really aggressive look to get people interested in it in a different fashion. But I know like some people don't like that aggressive look either. So they're keeping it smart by making it look generic feeling. But you know, I wish there was something a little bit more of a wow factor, because if it looks like a wow factor, you put it on your feet and there is a wow factor, I think it's a double whammy versus just having a shoe that looks normal and then trying it on and trying to differentiate the fact that this is the same thing or different than other shoes that are out there, not just within the Saucony line, but just in general. Most of them have like a pretty boring and mundane look. But that's kind of my thoughts, man. I think that this is a really, really good shoe. Very, very soft, squishy. But unfortunately, the width of the shoe is one of the things that I'd have to ding it on. If I had to rank this among some of the competition out there, I'm still rolling with my New Balance 1080 V11s. Love those. I think the Nike Invincible runs I really like as well. And honestly, I really like the Ultra Boost 21s over these as well, even though these aren't as soft and squishy. But I've talked about the reasons why I like those, even though they're not in the same vein of that soft, squishy action. All in all, this is a really great shoe and definitely one that was worth trying out. One I'm definitely going to end up keeping. Originally, I was thinking I would just get a pair. If I didn't like them, I'd return them. But I like them enough to keep them. And overall, I'd probably just give them like a score of like a 7 out of 10. It's not a must-have, but it is a must-try if you really, really like those soft, squishy shoes. It might fit your foot perfectly and be the go-to for yourselves. But that's what we have for the video. If you guys want to buy a pair, check the link in the description. Thank you guys for stopping by and watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. And I will have more sneaker cushioning videos for you guys coming up. This is one pair that I'm interested in trying, the Nitro. Looks very, very much like the Pegasus Turbos, which is one of my favorites, Pegasus Turbo 2 actually. But we'll get into a comparison hopefully between those soon. Have a good one, and maybe we'll see you back. All right, peace, guys.